Elon Musk fired James Baker this afternoon, the attorney who had been working with Twitter 1.0 and had been basically implicated in the efforts to squash conservative voices in the 2020 election, and more recently even. So here's how the news broke. Of course, on Twitter, Elon Musk responded to a tweet that Matt Taibbi had put up about a Jonathan Turley article, which we'll probably get into in this video. But his response, Elon Musk's response was, in light of concerns about Baker's possible role in the suppression of information, important to the public dialogue, he was exited from Twitter today. Can't you just say he was wicked fired? Because that's how we would say it in Massachusetts. And I love how Elon Musk is using his own platform now to break news and also interact with, like, regular people. He answers a question from this guy named Sam Gabb, who no one knows who he is. Like, Sam Gabb's some guy from Australia, if I read his bio correctly. He's got 46 followers. But it's the quality of his question that merits a response. And that's like, cream rising to the top. I like that. Good for you, Sam Gabb, whoever you are. His question was he asked to explain himself first? Like, hey, we're thinking about firing you, but if you can kind of explain this, we might give you a chance. So Elon responds to this guy, yes, but his explanation was unconvincing. So who is James Baker? Well, as Jonathan Turley said over the weekend, he's fast becoming the Kevin Bacon 6 degrees of James Baker. He is the linchpin of the swamp between big tech and big government and the Democratic Party when it comes to suppressing conservative and Republican voices on Twitter, when Twitter was Twitter 1.0. Let Tucker explain the whole situation in the big picture.
The main thing that we learned on last Friday night, with the release of those previously undisclosed documents from Twitter, is not that social media companies censor conservatives. Obviously, we knew that.
Yes, obviously we knew that. But I'm old enough to remember when, if you suggested that, people thought you were like some conspiracy nut.
No one's surprised to have it confirmed. No one denied it in the first place. No, what we learned on Friday is that big tech works aggressively and in secret with government agencies to subvert the outcome of what the rest of us assumed were free and fair election. During the 2020 election, Twitter did this with the help of the FBI.
Where James Baker was once the general counsel, the top attorney at the FBI.
Committing censorship on behalf of one candidate while working to hurt the other candidate.
Jack, I want to see some proof of this actual censorship by James Baker. And the proof comes from Matt Taibbi's thread on Friday. Here is an email actually from James Baker, an internal message from Twitter 1.0, privileged and confidential. Not so much privileged or confidential anymore, Jim, is it? Because, of course, it's a work product that is owned by Twitter, which Elon Musk bought. So if he wants to share the work product, he can, because when you leave employment, or even while you're there, it still belongs to the company. I support the conclusion in reference to the Hunter Biden laptop that we need more facts to assess whether the materials were hacked. There's no evidence. There's no evidence it was hacked. It was just left behind at the computer repair store in Delaware, or wherever that was. At this stage, however, it is reasonable for us to assume that they may have been. Based upon what? And caution is warranted. I think that is the key phrase. He's pumping the brakes on the whole let's let this fly, let the people decide. He doesn't want the people to decide, because this maybe, no justification, might be hacked, although there's no evidence of that. There are some facts, not a lot, but some facts to indicate that the materials may have been hacked, while others are indicating that the computer was either abandoned or James Baker even allows for the possibility that the computer was abandoned, or the owner consented to allow the repair shop to access it. We simply need more information, and whatever we do, we cannot figure this out before now in the election.
It is hard to imagine a more brazen attack on our democracy than this. This is not how our system is supposed to work. In fact, it's illegal.
Now, if you head over to the Jonathan Turley article, which I referenced earlier, you'll be reminded that Baker, his name appeared prominently in controversies related to other Russian-related FBI allegations against Trump. In other words, remember the whole back channel to the Trump campaign through the Kremlin? Yeah. So apparently Jim Baker was involved in that. Baker was a witness at the Sussman trial. Draw your own conclusions on that. I think the most important part is the next paragraph. After leaving the FBI, Twitter seemed eager to hire Baker as a deputy general counsel. Ironically, Baker soon became involved in another back channel with the presidential campaign. This time, Biden to Twitter. This time, Twitter maintained a non-public channel with the Biden campaign and later the Biden White House. Baker soon weighed in with the same signature bias that characterized the Russian investigations. So, ding dong, the witch is dead, you fired. And no, not Jacinda, she's still here. I meant James Baker, he's fired. And I'm just going to throw it out there. I'm going to ask you, what do you think? How long before James Baker ends up as a corresponding analyst or whatever they call it? Contributor is the lingo. Either MSNBC or CNN, right? It's not going to be long till he ends up there, or as the attorney at some other far left think tank, right? It's not long. Hey, I'm John F. Gately. You can call me Jack, broadcasting to you from the home office here in beautiful Plymouth, America's hometown, in Massachusetts. Behind enemy lines. Have a great day.